27, 1941. The President of the United States speaks.
Therefore, with profound consciousness of my responsibilities to my countrymen and to my country's cause, I have tonight issued a proclamation that an unlimited national emergency exists and requires the strengthening of our defense to the extreme limit of our national power and authority. I repeat the words of the signers of the Declaration of Independence. That little band of patriots, fighting long ago against overwhelming odds, but certain, as we are now, of ultimate victory, with a firm reliance on the protection of divine providence, we mutually pledge to each other our lives, our fortunes, and our sacred honor.
America awakens, and millions of men march shoulder to shoulder, answering the call for complete defense. The Army and the Navy swing along, the fighting Marines ready for duty on ship or ashore. Thousands of flying cadets are spreading their wings as the mighty armadas of the Army Air Corps thunder through the skies. The Army's modern cavalry guards our far-flung borderline. And now, the tanks. Yes, men of America have answered the call from the farms and towns and the cities.
Well, if any more mail comes from me, Fred, you can just forward it to the U.S. Army.
Take good care of yourself now. Don't forget to write your ma.
So long, Fred.
Calling CQ. Calling CQ. Go ahead.
Yeah, Jim, I'm with you. This is Pete. And say, I'm glad you're on my beam. Guess what? I got a warrior last night.
Okay, Pete. But listen to this. I'm signing off for a year. I got in the Army last night.
Listen, Manny, I'm going to have to disappoint you. I won't be able to take you to the steamfitters' ball on account I'm joining the Army.
Taxi!
Yeah. Wait a minute. No, not you, Amy. It's a customer. I'm joining the Army. Oh, now, maybe now, look, don't come to the wrong conclusions. The Army, you know, A-R-M-I-E. Yeah, that's right. You know, like...
Fort Knox, Kentucky is the scene of a great new adventure in national preparedness. On this historic ground, America's first armored force has been organized.
Boy, get a load of that.
Don't you know enough to hold out your hand, you dope? Oh, wise guy, huh? What's the matter? Ain't they got no traffic rules around here?
Sure they got traffic rules around here.
Well, them boiler wagons has got the right of way, huh?
It sure looked like it.
Where can I find a general?
Don't tell me the general ordered a cab all the way from the Bronx.
Look, buddies, I just come from little old New York to be a soldier. Okay, so I'm reporting.
Well, I know the general's going to be very, very happy. But maybe you better check in first, though, at the recruiting office. You go right down this way 1 block and turn to your right.
Thanks, buddies. Malowski's the name. I'll see you in the service.
Okay.
Those things make me nervous.
I,
Martin Malowski,
a citizen of the United States, do hereby acknowledge
To have voluntarily enlisted. Just as each man who enters the Army pledges himself with the oath of allegiance, so does the Army pledge the trust, responsibility, and care of each man in the service. And the physical well-being of every soldier is the first consideration.
2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Left face. About face. democracy is the very keystone in the structure of the American Army, all races and creeds do their share. But before a soldier can give the fullest service to his country, he must learn to serve. These men are marching into a few of the many classrooms at Fort Knox. Radio is an all-important factor in the armored force. In actual maneuvers, the tanks, often separated by 50, 75, or 100 miles, keep in contact by radio.
The last character is 5. It sounds like this. Did-it-did-it-dit. 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 What is 5?
A demonstration in the explosive forces of motor fuel.
Now follow me and we'll go over and see the exploding model of the engine.
The very lifeline of this branch of the service is found in the engines that propel the tanks. Hundreds of maintenance shops are necessary to keep the thousands of moving parts in perfect mechanical order, and new recruits soon become proficient troubleshooters.
All right, men, we're going to start these engines. Go back and find the trouble.
One of the tappets.
Yes, again.
Oh, I know what it is. Watch me.
Before he can qualify as a tank driver, each soldier must undergo a rigid test.
3, 4, 5, and reverse.
Very good, Molosky.
Well, do I get my operator's license now?
Well, not exactly, but you have qualified to enter driver's school.
Well, what do you know about that? Me, a guy that's been pushing a taxi cab practically all his life. I gotta go to school and learn to drive. Boy, I'd like to drive one of them tanks up the avenue in a rush hour. There's a certain cop on the corner of 6th Avenue and 53rd Street. Boy, I'd make that tough guy dive for the first manhole. Oh, you're a sergeant.
On the indoor gunnery range, men are given their first lesson in firing accuracy.
Ready on the firing line? Fire at will.
Then later, they mount wobbly plates, a device which lunges and lurches about, duplicating movements of a speeding tank. On this platform, they learn to fire the 37mm tank gun under actual combat conditions.
Load! Ready on the right, ready on the left, ready on the firing line. Command, firing!
This thing gives me the shakes.
Keep your eye on the target.
Ow! Oh, boy, that was great. That was great. You hit it 5 times. Hey, look at my man. 5 times. You hit it 5 times.
Hey, Molosky, what are you doing there? Flagging the train?
No, Your Honor. I mean, sir, those things get me excited.
But all work and no play makes a dull soldier. So the old swimming hole nearby is a popular place on a sunny afternoon.
How about going in for a dip?
Sure, let's get in there. Hey, Alan! Hodges! Come here a minute. Come on, Molosky, we're going for a swim. I got a better idea. Molosky, since us buddies have got the day off, Betsy and me will take us for a ride. Free of charge.
What can we
Step
do?
in. Ain't that the limit? I just can't get over the habit.
As you were, soldier.
Oh, hello, Sarge.
Still picking up fares, huh? Let me give you a little tip.
A tip?
The general don't like sidelines on this post, and if you don't get this cab off the reservation, someone's gonna run you in.
Run me in. Say, it's a personal question. Was you ever a traffic cop?
Yeah.
See you later.
Eddie. Private Molosky, I have a report here that you were driving a taxi cab this afternoon. Can you explain that?
I was just cruising around, Your Honor. Sir.
And you insisted that the taxi cab was your property.
Well, you see, it was this way. I was driving a cab back in little old New York, and All of a sudden, I gets patriotic. Pulowski, I says, why don't you join the Army? Then I thinks, as long as you're going to be a soldier, you might as well join an outfit that runs on spark plugs and gasoline, like the tanks. So I called up my gal, Mamie, and I...
You can leave that part out of it. What about the cab?
Well, I brought Betsy with me. Betsy, that's my cab.
Doesn't that strike you as rather unmilitary procedure?
Well, I thought if I brought Betsy with me, I wouldn't get lonesome or nothing. Also, when I was through soldiering, I was planning on driving it back to New York and picking up a fare or two on the road for expenses. That's a great idea, ain't it?
Oh, yes, Pulaski, that's a great idea. It doesn't fit into the way we do things in the Army. When a man joins up, the occupation he exercises in private life must be set aside, substituted by the greater importance of the new job he's undertaken.
You mean I'll have to give up my cab?
If I read regulations correctly, the soldier's equipment does not include a taxi cab. So please see to it at once that Betsy is disposed of.
Yes, sir.
Well, Pulaski, how did you come out?
A tough break, fellas. I gotta get rid of Betsy.
Oh, that's too bad. Well, what else did the Colonel say?
Oh, nothing much. The colonel's a swell guy. He told me I broke the rules, but he didn't fine me or nothing.
No?
See you later, Betsy.
As you all know, we're going on extensive maneuvers. Some of you have been in the Army for years, some of you just for a few weeks. However, you all know your jobs. I know that the regiment will be very proud of you. Any questions?
I'm sorry I had
Get back where you belong. Mount up. Hi, Mosky, let's have it. Where you been?
I had a trip us over on the ampersand.
Huh? Wind them up, man.
Wind him up.
Okay, I'll expect an explanation later. That better be good.
I think I'm a good one.
Get over there where you belong.
I get all mixed up on here. It's too many holes. I think I'm allergic to that guy.
Headquarters, 13th Armored Regiment Light, Fort Knox, Kentucky, June 14, 1941. Training Memorandum Number 80. Paragraph 1, compliance with Training Memorandum Number 10, Headquarters, 1st Armored Division, dated June 1st, 1941. 13th Armored Regiment will participate in division maneuvers beginning June 16, 1941.
Any questions? Take charge of your units.
The maneuvers will duplicate actual battle conditions, a test of the effectiveness of Uncle Sam's newest arm of national defense, the 1st Armored Force. As the formidable array of mechanization moves into the field, the power of this new army is impressive. In a camouflage position behind the lines, field headquarters are established. Here, the commanding general and his staff control the far-flung operations.
Now that looks good. Now we give it a final check. Major Fritchie, what are those enemy installations once more?
The problem now is to locate the enemy. This job is carried out by reconnaissance troops in the swift-moving scout cars. Discovering the enemy's position, they go into action while the radio operator flashes the news back to headquarters.
They're scum.
Now the definite plan of attack can be formulated, and quickly the orders are issued: smash the enemy. The artillery, also carefully camouflaged, goes into action. Where are the tanks?
Hidden from enemy observers, they wait the orders to move ahead.
All right, boys, I'll tell you where I hid the cab if you promise not to tell nobody. Little ears has got big tails, you know. I read that in a book once.
Button up, Malowski, if you're not for that conversation.
Hello, Sergeant. I was just telling the boys where I hid the cab, but I didn't want them to know anyway.
Where is it?
I put it in that...
Oh. Come on, where'd you hide it?
Don't tell the Colonel. I put it in that little shed right alongside the road at the edge of the reservation.
Too bad, Malowski. Too bad.
Too bad?
Part of the armored force quickly bridge a deep river to keep the tanks rolling along.
Hey, that lead tank's heading right for the shed.
That's Betsy for you. She only had one life, and she give it to her country.
And with the job well done, the 1st Armored Force reassembles, returning to its base of operation. And since this is your army, let's find out something about it. These are the Blitz buggies, as they're called. Tiny and tough. Hundreds each day are turned out by our great factory. And the scout cars, armor-plated and mounting machine guns, speedy, fast-hitting with their well-trained crews. Half-track howitzer cars drawing 75-millimeter howitzers, an American-made gun to answer any challenge. And the troops themselves, alert Americans all, each determined to guard with any means our sacred national honor. And the tanks are coming, nor can mountains, forests, or rivers stop them. These 12-tonners capable of 60 miles an hour, with machine guns bristling in defiance. Their motors and the men who drive them are the finest in the world. And these tanks of 14 tons were the world's best armor plate, powerful land fortresses. They mount 5 30-caliber machine guns, 2 50-caliber machine guns, an anti-aircraft machine gun, and a 37-millimeter cannon. Yes, the tanks are coming as America awakens, and the ever-growing thunder of our armed forces gives warning to a belligerent world. The tanks are coming!